Live on YouTube.
Now
also.
live on YouTube.
Hi, YouTube. What's up,
Hello,
peeps?
YouTube.
YouTube. Hello, YouTube. I think it's shared.
I don't know.
YouTube.
The internet.
Yeah, I should have.
I think I shared. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I shared. I didn't share the live stream. I should have waited and done.
Now. I don't know. I guess I should. Nobody even reads the shit I write.
So, Lombardo, did you cream in your pants a little bit when you saw that Vestron's releasing Dagon?
A little bit, yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
It's so fucking good, except for the CGI at the end. I'm not happy about the price tag.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just MSRP. Come on.
Yeah, but the lowest they go down is like $26. I want to say.
That's the normal price, but I've most of the ones I've gotten were 15 or 17.
Well, you got them at fucking Best Buy or whatever, didn't you?
No, I got them on Amazon too. Just catch them on sale.
Yeah, you just have to kind of keep your eye on it.
When
Really.
they got cheaper because like the fucking Blood Diner and stuff was like full price forever. I mean, I pre-ordered that, but I never saw it drop that much further. Although the Wishmaster one went down to like $23, I think.
I got Blood Diner for $15. Otherwise, I would have bought that.
I can't wait for those. I need them right away, especially Dagon.
Yeah. The Reanimator, I'm pretty excited about.
What's pissed me off about that though is that they don't have the fucking commentary and featurette from the DVD.
Well, I'm still kind of holding out hope that we'll get an Arrow cut, just like the two that we have. You know, the one thing that I'm interested to see though is well, not interested to see, but if Arrow does it, because their Umbrella something or other is also releasing them. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, some Umbrella company is releasing them as well.
I think they're out of Australia, but they are releasing a region-free version of it.
Wasn't the one Well Go? Isn't that what did the Phantasm one?
Yeah.
Well Go USA.
She needed her clothing.
I mean, you could have just asked me to give you your clothes.
Yeah.
We missed another half-naked Quinn sighting.
Naked again?
She's gonna kill you. Apparently,
I think she has the hots for Jared.
There must be. I mean, they're not the only one.
I tried to warn her.
It's that Day of the Dead shirt.
Yeah.
It gets me every time.
Well, what about my shirt? You like my shirt?
Dude, if I could fit into mine, I'd wear it, but no one wants to see that. It would be a
This
tank
is my
top.
original one from 4th grade.
That's amazing.
I'm joking. This
Wow. They reissue them? Is there? Well, I guess I bet Hot Topic has them now because it's
Hot Topic,
this was an old Elizabeth when she was in the Illinois State Police had a partner. He was a big fat guy and he grew out of it and I asked him if I could have it. He gave it to me. So.
They still did that program?
Hmm?
Is Dare still a thing?
No, he had it from a long time ago.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say like shit. That was
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dare is still a thing in schools.
Well, now with the YouTubes and all that, they
Sit there and talk.
I dare you to snort a condom.
I usually snort what's in the condom. That's what I don't understand about the videos.
Freaking kids, they don't know how to do it.
That's actually seems safer than snorting the actual condom.
The condom challenge was already a thing like a year or two ago.
I wouldn't know anything about the condom challenge. I've never.
Michael?
That's not a challenge I was worth that I want to take.
That's the doghouse tonight. Doghouse for
Oh,
Mr. Lombardo.
Oh, we need to stop.
Hey, by the way, Mike, thank you for convincing me to get that Army of Darkness Blu-ray.
Oh, did you watch the extras on it?
I watched that hour-and-a-half long documentary.
Yeah, dude.
The making of it.
I literally cried watching it because when they showed the effects warehouse stuff, I was like, that was the life I always wanted. And then I not to go to effects school, and I get really emotional when I see that kind of stuff. It was just amazing.
Well, and then I put the movie into my Blu-ray player, and it looks phenomenal.
Oh, it's fucking gorgeous. The Army of Darkness Blu-ray that Scream Factory did. It's 3 discs.
Oh yeah.
There's so much shit on there, man. It took me like 4 days to watch all of it.
So this is like what?
Shopping mall.
Yeah, this is like the.
This is the definitive.
Yeah, this is the final.
Until next time.
Well, no, because they took all the other bullshit. This
That's
is
it.
like 15 times more extras than, and they collected all the other extras plus everything else, and then they did like a 4K scan for the original negative. It is so pretty.
They fooled me back in the 90s when I bought 8 different versions.
Oh no, trust me. Well, he had like the screw head. I'm like, right, this is the last one you're ever gonna have.
Yeah, the primitive screwhead edition. Yeah.
I've got the Shop Smart edition.
I had the official bootleg version. I had the old one. I had the director's cut.
I had the.
I actually got rid of my my other Blu-ray.
Yeah, well, there's no point. Like this one has such a better transfer, and then all the extras are just like.
Bruce Campbell's not getting any more of my money. Until next time.
The only thing that I don't like about that Blu-ray, and I actually asked Heather Buckley, she was the producer of all the extras, why in the fuck is that documentary not called The Medieval Dead?
Yeah.
That was the original title of the movie anyway, and I'm like, why didn't you use that? She's like, we never thought of that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You never thought of it. That's like the most obvious.
Obviously, she's not a golfer.
Yeah.
God,
takes it all. Loser takes the fall.
Is Over the Top the arm wrestling one?
Yes.
I love that movie.
Way over the top.
He made me want to be a truck driver. And then, wait, no, that's not.
They're that's the movie. They're currently shooting Creed 2 right now in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
So, wait. Is Over the Top technically a sequel to that scene in Predator where Carl Weathers and Arnold do their thing?
Yeah.
Over the Top is a prequel to Midnight Meat Train.
Yeah, I'm watching it. I watched this movie and I got excited about having an illegitimate son that I didn't take care of, and then winning his love through arm wrestling.
That's pretty much my story.
That's how we became friends.
Yeah, Chris was my illegitimate child, and then I arm wrestled Lex Quinn.
Yeah, it was amazing. He broke her arm.
Yeah, it was like that scene in The Fly. Yeah. He busted my bone, just popped right out of my skin, and then she lapped up the blood and laughed.
And then they did a montage shot, and at the end of it, I went,
yeah. We both did the fist pump and freeze framed.
Yep.
Did you guys ever freeze frame in real life? It's really intense.
It takes forever to get out of it, though.
Yeah, tell me about it.
All right, intro's about to play.
Okay.
Wait, you guys aren't live?
We are live, but we're going to be live now. So, Lex Quinn, if you're going to make any more nude cameos,
do it now.
I'm not doing that.
Hold on. Go.
Well, yep, now everyone's watching. Go on, Lex Quinn.
It's not going to happen.
That's what you said the last 3 times.
She's sprawled out completely naked on the bed.
No, I'm not. Look.
She's Quinn Eagled right now.
I'm wearing a shirt and I'm wearing pants.
All right, here we go, guys.
The illusion. Get out of here. Go.
I'm going.
It's a pastime.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome, and thank you for joining us on another episode of THS Lives. Here tonight, my name is Brian Enright. This episode is brought to you by Bud Light Lime and Serbian Film. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at The Horror Jew, or you can follow me here on Facebook at Brian Enright. Up next, we have Jared Letourneau. Jared, good evening.
Good evening, Brian, and all you boils and ghouls at home. You guys can follow me on Facebook at Jared Letourneau, or if you guys follow me on the Twatverse at zombie_survivor. I am brought to you by VHS at Midnight.
Woohoo!
Back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Jared. Up next, don't pay attention to the right side of the camera, but pay attention to the left side of the camera. We have our other host, Mike Lombardo. Mike, good evening.
Me? Oh, are we live? Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Lombardo. I'm brought to you by The Brood on Blu-ray by the Criterion Collection.
Wait, put the Brood over that spot to your left real quick, because we're not ready to introduce that spot yet. There you go, The Brood.
Brood. You can find me at facebook.com/realsplatter. Realsplatter.com. This is with a 2 E's, folks, like a reel of film. And you can also follow me in the little chat window with the video that you're looking at right now. Back to you, Brian.
Thank you very much. Up next, we have our president, Ray Merrick of the Horror Syndicate. Ray, good evening.
Where is Chopping Mall?
You lose it every week.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Razor_33 or somewhere on Facebook. I'm also brought to you by The Brood, the MGM Classics DVD.
That's going for decent money, I believe, on eBay. Well, before the Criterion came out, I don't know if it's worth anything now, but it was.
Will it help me fund things that I want to pay for?
It might. Go to GameStop. They'll give you like 26 cents for it.
That's what I'm looking for. That's exactly what I need to pay for the comics that I need to produce. 26 cents.
I'll get your phone.
Well, I don't think it has any value that it lost the Monster Squad, so... Aww.
Monster Squad ultimately lost anyway.
I know. But you know what? If it was going to lose, I'm glad it lost to Dead Alive or Halloween 3. I wouldn't have been able to live with it if Prince of Darkness beat
I
it.
bet you would have beaten Halloween 3.
Why? 'Cause all the hate towards Halloween 3.
Are you guys excited about the Stephen King bracket that I'm starting tomorrow? Yeah.
I love Stefan Kong. Woo! Ray,
You know,
where can we find you?
Have we forgot about our guest, guys?
No, I already said where you can find me.
Oh, I did? I'm so sorry. And and here we are, our guest of the evening, artist Chris Enterline. Good evening, Chris.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. No, thanks for being here. We're
I'm
so excited to have you tonight. We've been checking your who's your sponsor tonight? Is that Ink?
HP printer ink.
63. That's color and
Yeah.
black.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of value out of this.
That's actually pretty appropriate for you.
It is appropriate. Thank you for that.
Sorry.
Yeah, I guess you could find me on the internet at chrisenterline.com. No, I don't want to. And I'm also on Twitter. I don't know my Twitter name.
Is it artist Chris Enterline art or something?
No,
Artsy Enterline.
Artsy Enterline. That's right. Thank you, Lex. Lex is stalking me.
No, I just remember the Instagram.
And I'm also on Instagram. That is Enterline Draws.
Oh.
And that's me.
I just remember the
And I draw. That's what I do. I'm an artist.
All right. So what would you say got you started with wanting to be an artist?
I read a lot of Marvel comics as a kid. I think the first I remember was the first thing I think I ever read was the wedding of Cyclops and Jean Grey, and that got me stoked. And I don't understand why it got me so stoked, but I knew I wanted to do that. I wanted to draw that stuff, specifically weddings.
He was an award-winning wedding illustrator.
Yeah.
Back before photography existed.
Then I just kind of fell into this hole, this horror art, this void that no one pays attention to. So, yeah, I mean, it makes some money. It does okay, I guess.
Well, I have some of your pictures in the slideshow, being portrayed right now. Of course, here is we have the Cinnabon, which is a comic that you have been working on. And here is Pennywise from the new It. I've seen the Pennywise that you drew.
Mm-hmm.
Drew.
Drew did?
I've seen it. I've seen it making its rounds through the internet.
Yeah, I got no credit for
Facebook.
that. That's cool. That's usually how it goes. Yeah. Oh, it's cool. I like the attention. I'm an attention whore. Keep making those rounds with that stuff. So maybe it'll get back to me. I don't know.
You gotta water print your art nowadays. You see it in memes, and whenever someone posts a meme.
The thing about that is kind of funny. I'm really good at being able to take watermark out of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody really, really wants my art, they'll just take it off.
It's a skill he acquired after he stole all the images you just put up on the screen and
I
played
made
them as his
none
own.
of that. Yep. It's actually another Chris Enterline out in California. Yep. I've taken credit for everything he's ever done.
Well, that's
Oh,
not
the
good.
adult film star Chris Enterline. Okay.
Yep. I've done well under his banner.
So, so as a porn star, have you ever seen a Serbian film?
No, that's above my pay grade. I was actually offered a role in that film. I had to turn it down though. I like to live.
Good call.
All right, well, we got some people watching right now. We have Rhonda Buckingham saying, "Love this movie." Well, thank you, Rhonda.
Rhonda, we're not talking about the movie. We're talking about my art.
We have Joe Ridgely from Technical Defects. He says, "Sup, fellas? Sup, Joe? How are ya?"
Hello, hello.
We have Ma'an Apinato Janeco. Hello from Davenport, Florida.
Hi.
Hello, Ma'an.
Sorry if he truly butchered your name.
How do you pronounce that, Jared?
I have no idea. You probably did it better than I did.
Let me take a look here. I'm good at this.
This is what we should. This is our show tonight. Special guest artist Chris Enterline is going to pronounce people's names who comment on the live feed.
Mm-hmm.
So while you're doing that, I just figured I'd ask back to Cinnabon. Like, how did you guys come up with this idea? Like, was it like kind of a mutual thing? I know Mike kind of had the idea for a little while, but like, how did this develop?
It was all Mike mostly. He just kind of was like, "Hey, you want to draw something crazy?" And I was like, "Yeah, you bet."
Well, was
yeah.
Well, Cinnabon was originally going to be. I don't know what the fuck it was originally going to be.
We actually pitched it to Doug.
Doug Bradley.
Yeah, he was going to make it as a movie, and he couldn't get the money, so we just decided to make
it was going to be a new sequel to Pinhead, to the Hellraiser direct to video one, but Dimension felt it followed the plot of the movies too closely, so they nixed it. But it was an idea. It was just a joke for a long time, and I couldn't figure out what to do with it. And then when I met Chris and saw his art, I'm like, I think it was a joke. I'm like, "Hey man, you should fucking draw this Pinhead comic I wrote." And then he's like, "Okay." And then we started doing it, and like it was 1,000 times better looking than I expected it to. So
that's literally how it started. I just went, "Okay." And yep, that's it. Yep. From there we've released what, 3 of them?
3 of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got like 9 more written.
Yeah, I'm sorry about taking forever for that. It's kind of like a hobby, and we do it for fun, and a lot of other stuff art related has gotten in the way. But I'll try to get another one out before the end of June, maybe.
Yeah, we're looking to do some. We got 2 full story arcs to do. Like, there are going to be story arcs. It's going to be very exciting. But since Chris has to like do work for a living and all that nonsense, not everyone has the easy life slinging pizzas for people. So his actual obligations take precedence, unfortunately.
Yeah, life gets in the way. It really blows. If I would just be happy to draw Cinnabon all day, every day.
I'd be happy too.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's pretty cool. I mean, I've been checking out your work, and I absolutely adore it. Like I said, with the whole Pennywise the Clown from the 2017 It movie, it's been making its rounds all over Facebook. And when you see something like that on social media, what is the first thing that goes through your head? I know you kind of sort of answered this question already, but as professional wise, when you see it and you see people taking credit for it, how does that make you feel?
First thing I usually think is, shit, they edited my name out. And then second, I don't know, it doesn't really bother me too much. It used to, but as an artist, it just kind of happens. People like to just share your stuff, and I kind of I look at it as I finally made it. Like when you can go on the internet and see your stuff going around and you aren't getting any credit for it, you're like, yeah, I made it. Success. This is what it feels like. So,
yeah, and so Yeah, so hopefully we'll like see like Cinnabon making its rounds through like
God, I hope
the crazy pages that people follow nowadays, like Addicts Unchained or something like that. I don't know. It's just
Cinnabon has popped up in some weird places. I've seen it, or people have been like, someone actually like, you made that, and I'm like, I don't think the name that's on the top of it threw you off, no. But yes.
I actually I switched your name out a couple times. Now, the one thing I will say though is like, a lot of my friends and maybe fans, I don't know, they're pretty defensive. Like if they catch it, they'll call the people out. They're like, hey, that's not yours.
For you.
Yeah, Lex over here laying on the bed, taking all the credit.
Yeah. Well, I follow a lot of I follow this one page called Useless, Unsuccessful, and or Unpopular Memes. And what happens is if it's a page full of useless memes.
You've seen
and I'm not comparing it to your art, but the page itself reminds you of what you're telling me. On that page, people make these really useless memes, and sometimes they're really funny because they're confusing as all fuck. But then, for example, one of the most popular memes that someone has created ended up getting shared by like a Slipknot fan page, and then it became huge. It said MTV turns 30 this year, so let's celebrate 15 years of music. And it's made its fucking rounds, and and the people in there, they saw it and they're like, this is the guy who made it. This is the guy, and like they're posting and they're blowing up this entire like Slipknot page. It's like, when were you last relevant? It's like, this is the guy who made this. And the guy who made it is just like taking it in. He's just like, oh my God, my meme made it. And it's kind of weird, now that we're dealing with like a different type of world where social media, if you're popular on social media, you're Michael Jordan.
I think
godlike powers.
I think everybody's looking for that one thing that just like makes them get their 5 minutes of fame, and they're good after that. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to be a little bit more long lasting. I want to be around and not have a 5 minutes of fame. I want to have like a 10 to 15 minutes of fame. I thought
it was 15 minutes of fame was the thing.
Not anymore. People don't have the attention span.
Yeah,
these damn millennials.
These millennials and their condom snorting, Tide popping.
All right, it's Generation Z. All right, it's not the millennials.
Sci-Fi Channel show.
Yeah.
It's already what?
Are we talking about Face Off?
Face Off.
Not everyone can be blamed for the con. It's nope. Not getting into it. Nope.
No, the thing is, what you were talking about with the artwork, getting taken with the watermarks and stuff, is I think unfortunately one of the bad side effects of like meme culture and just internet culture in general is people's intellectual property becomes, people feel that it's their property to do and share with as they please. So a lot of like people will steal it. Bootleg T-shirts are huge, especially in the horror community. A lot of people that I know have their art stolen, unfortunately, on a daily basis. But because of people sharing things, it almost devalues it to the point where people think you can just do whatever the hell you want with it. They don't understand copyright and stuff, and that's a real bad side effect of the whole community.
Yeah,
it's a double-edged sword, because on the other hand, you can blow up because one person shared it in a random place and then people saw it. But on the other hand, you have just as much of a chance of somebody swiping it and taking credit for it.
It is. It's really weird when you come across it on your own, though. It's really weird. Like, it looks like mine. Oh, it is.
So it looks like mine. Why is there photoshopped white paint over where my name used to be?
Yeah,
that doesn't even match.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's weird. Like people put a lot of effort into like just cutting your name out when all they could just do is go, look at this cool thing I found by this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just do that. Maybe that's a little bit more appreciative and whatever. People.
And it's completely different than like when you're using like a meme application and like, the application that you're using automatically watermarks the name of the application on the bottom of the picture. I just crop that shit out. But as for, an artist, such as yourself, and you're drawing something, and people start taking credit for it. That's a completely different ball game. It's kind of fucked up. I would be pissed, honestly, if
I still get work, so I mean, I'm doing
okay. I guess that's the good thing then. You're constantly working. So you've been, how long have you been drawing for?
A tough question. My mom has told me when I was like 3 or 4, I picked up a pencil and skipped the stick figures. So I went right to like drawing people with genitals, which
I'm still stuck in that stage.
Yeah. Yeah, and I did like 3-dimensional drawings when I was in 1st grade, stuff like that. I was really into it, and I figured that was going to be what I was going to be for the, why pay attention in school? I'm going to be famous. And but no, I've been drawing forever. I think the hardest thing I've had to do is evolve with the times, because once everything started becoming digital, I was like, oh shit, I don't even have a computer. So now I have all this stuff. Got a Wacom Cintiq companion mobile thing. It's amazing.
So that's a question that I was going to ask you. Do you prefer drawing traditionally on paper, or do you prefer the digital, like the Wacom tablet and stuff, or Wacom, however they pronounce it?
Depends what I'm doing. If I'm trying to meet deadlines and stuff and get things done in a hurry, I usually do digital, because you can make mistakes and fix them easier. But I really actually like to work with clay.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just never get to do it anymore because I'm stuck drawing on a tablet. I love the sculpt. It's always been a passion. I've always wanted to do that, but
he likes using his hands.
Yeah.
Are you willing to reenact the scene from Ghost of Mr. Lombardo next to you?
Just about to fucking make that.
I think we were all going to go there.
That's funny. My mind went there too a little bit.
It's all right. I'll just sing the song, whatever song is playing during that. What is it? It's Du Hast.
We just reenact for the rest of the podcast. We'll just reenact scenes from Ghost.
Lex Quinn has probably never seen Ghost.
I've seen Ghost.
She has like a sixth sense. She can see them all the time.
Yeah.
We were like at the video store and she saw the Blu-ray right away. It was really freaky.
Yeah. Usually if Patrick Swayze's involved, he sees him.
That had the best lesbian makeout scene ever between Demi Moore and Whoopi Goldberg. I don't think I went to sleep for 3 days.
I thought you were going to say between Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Patrick Swayze was
a man. Anywho, you mentioned getting work. Now, what the bulk of your paid work, you do a lot of book covers. Can you talk a little bit about that, like the companies you worked for and maybe like your favorite project?
I've worked mostly, the bulk of my work has been with Thunderstorm Books and Paul, I can never say his last name right.
Gobrish? I think that's
Paul?
how you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
Thunderstorm Paul.
That's what we all call him in the old circle. Thunderstorm Paul. But no, I've done a lot of stuff with them, and they're like, if you don't know who they are, they put out like pretty high format premium. Yeah, he's gonna get some like really collectible books. And you have Exponential.
I don't.
God, I hate you.
But I have Clickers Forever.
Oh yeah, okay. The one I didn't do the cover for.
Yeah. Show them and then pop the interior, right?
I don't know. Can you see that? Yeah, there you go. So the cover here was done by Dave Kendall, and I really like his art. I won't usually pimp other people's art during an interview featuring me, but he kicked ass with this. But no, I was actually featured in this. I got to do on a rare thing, I got to do the signature sheets, which are in the front of the book, not the back. But I did a different image for each signature sheet. And can you see that really well? Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah. So like that kind of stuff I like to do. But yeah. They're really fancy books.
Yeah, this is like leather bound. This is like $100 book.
Yeah.
It's super nice hand bound. That's what Thunderstorm does.
So I've done like how many of them now? 6, 7, 8? Yeah. But I've got another one coming out. I don't know when that's coming out. It doesn't matter. But yeah, don't buy it. Yeah, so I've done a lot of those. Those are fun. And I've done a lot of like indie publishers, self-published, a lot of self-published stuff. I've done one for I did one for Amber Fallon. She's got a book coming out. John Bowden. I don't know.
You did. You drew me as a Marine from Aliens when I got into Aliens Bug Hunt.
Yep.
For my anniversary, he drew me as in Jill Valentine's outfit, but it's me, and William Birkin is standing behind me.
Oh yeah, he drew a really cool Lex Quinn as a Resident Evil character.
Yeah,
I remember seeing that. That's cool.
A lot of that.
There's a good portion of his art on the horrorsyndicate.com review that I did.
But like lately, I've been delving into the comic book world. I did a little bit of I don't know. It was like a little mini thing for a anthology series that went to Kickstarter, but the Kickstarter didn't make it. So I think I'm doing it as a magazine now. So it'll probably be in that. And then I'm doing another comic book, but I can't really talk too much about that. But that'll be pretty big, and that's horror related. So maybe when that comes out, I might come back if you treat me right. Oh yeah.
That's so fucking cool.
Thank you.
Like,
I
okay.
don't think you want to see it.
Just shove it right up on the camera. Right up on the camera. Nope. Can't see it.
Back up.
Oh my.
Back up. Back up. There you go.
Back up a little more. Back up a little more.
A little more. Up.
A little more.
This is such a modern way to look at art.
Yeah.
On a webcam, on a phone.
I do have a website.
Can you guys see that though?
Yeah.
Just keep it there the rest of the interview.
This looks like a Spider-Man 3 movie I bought off a vendor in New York.
Yeah, literally, this is the Chris Enterline bootleg edition.
Yeah. It actually made the movie better.
Yeah, but actually, I met Chris because we were I was online on Grindr, I believe was the website.
Yeah.
I
was really putting myself out there.
You know, he came. I can't fucking talk.
I came.
He did a poster for White Doomsday, a comic book poster, and he was pretty much a stranger at that point. He had messaged me and said, "Hey, I really like the idea of this movie. Can I do a poster for you?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, kid." And I put it in the pile of other shit that people say they're gonna do randomly and it never happens. And like 3 days later, he sent me this fucking unbelievable cover art that was like print ready. I'm like, holy shit. Who is this mysterious gentleman that just did this? And we became the best of friends ever since.
Yeah, I think the guy that actually got me into this was in the whole genre was Adam. See, Cesare?
Adam Caesar is his gnome diploma.
Adam, yeah, I'm sorry, Adam. I don't know how to say your last name that you chose. Yeah, he friended me through my buddy Chris, and then it just all went downhill from there, and now I can't get out.
That's how he got started. He fell in the rabbit hole of horror art.
Mm-hmm.
So. I actually, for those who are watching on Facebook Live right now, there is a picture of Chris's work for I'm Dreaming Up a White Doomsday that I stole off of his Facebook profile just for tonight's episode. On Facebook Live right now, there is a picture.
Echo.
You guys can see.
Yeah, it's funny that you were able to find it so fast. It took me.
Yeah, what the hell? When I was trying to show Ray, I couldn't fucking find it for like an hour.
There's some pretty sensitive pictures up there on the internet. So
well, here's what you got to do. You got to build up those stalker points. You got to build them up.
I have a lot of
them too low. They got to be high.
So, Chris, let's talk about the Pennywise picture.
What's that?
Which I think is some of your best work. How did you approach drawing that? You digitally painted that.
Yeah, I got for like the past since like 1999, maybe 2000. I've been using Photoshop, and then someone introduced me to a program called Clip Studio, which used to be called Manga Studio. And just for shits and giggles, I decided I wanted to try it out, so I downloaded it. And I was like, you know what? These oil brushes are pretty badass. They look like they do the real thing. So I just decided. I think I just saw the movie in theaters.
Yeah.
And I was on that Lex Quinn Pennywise high. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna draw him, and I just started slapping paint to digital screen, and that happened.
How long did that take?
Oh my god, it was like a weekend, right?
That's had to have been like hour. You probably put at least 20, 30 hours in that thing, didn't you?
Maybe. I think I clocked it at 12.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
I moved fast.
Yeah, Chris is like his turnaround time is
I'm looking at the detail of it, and I absolutely adore it.
Yeah, people think that it's not a painting. I've had that a couple times.
But you put work in progress pics up on your Facebook so you can tell. Like, I mean, since I follow you, I know I've seen some of the progress pics, like that Alien versus Predator one.
Oh, that was a fucking badass.
Yeah. So
That one I drew from the top of my head, and I've been painting that from the top of my head. The Pennywise is an existing image. I want to clarify that. So people are like, oh, you know.
Yeah, he took him 12 hours. He took it, and 12 hours later, he was able to Photoshop his name across the bottom.
Yeah.
In a watermark.
Yeah, it takes a long time to write my name. No, what I do for stuff like that, like what I have a dual monitor system, so I put one up. I put the actual image I'm gonna paint up on the one monitor, and I just kind of painted it by looking at it. So I don't know. I did the background a couple times differently, and I hated it, so I just went with that really like subtle, low detail background, and just kind of made the image pop.
Let's talk about the Reanimator picture.
I don't want to talk about the Reanimator picture. No, yeah, I don't know. That was like my first foray into the digital painting. So I usually do like a lot of line work, like heavy line work, black and white, because that's what I love. And I just started getting into painting at that time. So I did a picture of Herbert West, and then he was at Scares of Care last year, and I took it there and I had him sign it, and he was super appreciative of it. It was pretty cool. I got it signed, got a picture. Yeah, you can probably find that stock on.
Now, is that Cthulhu in the background?
No, I didn't have a background originally, and I just decided to take my brush and just kind of like make these wavy lines, and I was like, wow, this is kind of looking pretty Lovecraftian, so I kind of went with it. And
it works.
Yeah, it's just really some kind of elder beast, eldritch horror. Yeah,
it absolutely looks sexy, and I appreciate the differences in the contrast with the of course the reagent being fluorescent greenish yellow, and then the rest of the picture being black and white. I think that's pretty fucking tits.
He actually signed it with a green pen, so that looked even better.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put it up on eBay in like 5 years.
Does he show up with green pens? Is that like a thing?
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, he's got a green glowing pen. So yeah, it was pretty cool. And it's funny because I drew it for him and he made me pay for it
to get the signature.
Yeah. I was like, no, I'm literally drawing. I drew this for you, and then I have one for me. And all right, I'll pay you. Fuck it.
That's great. Here, pay me my $25.
I have
$30, my friend.
We got a couple comments on Facebook. People watching the show. We have I already read the one from Ma and Benito Janeco. Okay.
Wow.
We have Alfred J. Dill. Mike Lombardo, genius.
Well, I mean, that is my name.
We have Jesse Gordon has 2 comments. Shoot for at least 30 minutes where we're talking about the 15 minutes of fame. And clickers forever.
Yes, forever.
We have Cindy McKee Richardson, who is a fan of VHS at Midnight, wants to know what movies are playing tonight.
Chris
we're playing a Serbian film and Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit.
Yeah,
what's that?
I've been in both.
And we have Randy Rock. How's that Exorcist drawing coming? Starting to figure out what you cannot talk about.
No, I can talk about that. No, Randy was actually like a super awesome dude who know him. He helped me out, gave me this super badass printer so I could print some stuff. And I've been super slowly working on an Exorcist painting. And it's kind of a collage piece. And yeah, I'm a little hung up on it, work. But I will have it, Randy. And you'll love it.
It does look very, very fucking cool. I've seen it.
So it's one of those things, like, I don't want to just slap it together. I want it to be pretty and perfect because that's how I like to do things. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool looking. I should probably share it with him. Not Randy. You're not going to see it till it's done.
Chris, what are some of your influences? Like, what is there any artists that got you into the stuff?
Stormy Daniels. No. No, there's a couple. Most of them are comic book artists because that's kind of how I built my style around. And I can never say his name. I wrote it down, and I'm probably going to butcher it. There's a guy, he drew the New Mutants back in the 80s. It's a Marvel series. His name was Bill Sienkiewicz? I don't know. I love his style because he just kind of like slops it on the page and he works with his hands. He doesn't even worry so much about the ink. He just smudges it around. It looks amazing. If you ever can find any of his stuff, it's amazing. I can't properly spell his name, so I can't tell you. And then there's Bernie Wrightson, who just died like a couple years ago. People usually compare me to him a lot because he uses a lot of heavy ink.
That's a really fucking big compliment. Bernie Wrightson's amazing.
Yeah, I know. I'm amazing. And then the one that I always get a lot of shit for is Jim Lee, who pretty much made the X-Men what they were. A lot of people kind of shit on him. I do not. I love him.
Who shits on Jim Lee?
A lot of people. Apparently a lot of people seem to think that he's a hack, and I'm like, have you seen John Romita Jr.?
Everybody I know in the comic book world is in love with Jim Lee.
Yeah, well, that's the comic book world. I'm talking about the people that read it. Yeah,
that's who I'm talking about. Even going to the shops and stuff and talking to the friends that read comics. I
love him personally, but I
do too. He's one of my favorites. I would make fun of Rob Liefeld, but not Jim Lee.
See, but that's the thing. Rob Liefeld is a horrible artist, but as a businessman, the man created some amazing stuff. I mean, he gave us all of those pouches.
Pouch Man.
Yeah.
He's actually a garbage businessman because his company from Image went under really fast.
Yeah, I'm
throwing money around, but yeah, he's got a creative mind.
Yeah.
He also claims that he created Deadpool before Deathstroke came out, and that's incorrect.
Mm-hmm. But he did create Cable, so he's going to make all that money.
Yeah.
Cable, the internet.
Wow. Yeah. He created that system of two.
The interweb.
Comcast.
I'm learning stuff. I thought I already knew all this shit.
Yeah, see, the thing is, most comic book artists don't make enough money to support themselves, so they have to get an actual job.
Yeah.
Because drawing isn't real.
Yeah.
It's not a real job. You don't make money doing that.
Nobody wants to pay for art.
No, that's yeah. I could talk about that all day.
Most artists.
Well, that's what separates, the corporate, white collar world with, freelance artists. Is that no one ever pays for the time and the value of the art. They just see something, they're like, oh, this is pretty cool, I'll give you $50 for it. Is that too low? And my brother deals with that a lot. What's that?
You gave a compliment there by asking if it was too low. They don't do that. They say, I'll give you $50 for it.
Yeah. And my brother's been doing animation for a while, and he teaches students at a big art school in New York, and he says that a lot of them have a hard time getting gigs unless it's like directly in the entertainment industry. If you're doing freelance work for people who just don't get it, it's like little to no money that you're making, and you're just slaving away because you're like, well, I don't know what else to do right now.
I struggled with it for a while when I was trying to get established. I would take work really cheap because I just wanted to get my work out there, and I've worked for free. Yeah, I've worked absolutely for free. But I'm at that point now where I can kind of be selective about what I want to do, because I could take a bunch of little work and work my ass off from, sun up to sundown and make no money, or I could take those 2 or 3 really well-paying ones, and it's nice now. So now I don't do shit for this guy.
Do you do like some of the applications that like you can do like freelance work and people will check you out and they'll like you set your own price?
I tried Fiverr.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
My first run with Fiverr, I had a guy kind of circumvent the system and try to get a full commission piece out of me for $25. And I don't know if you know how Fiverr works. Fiverr, once it gets set in place, it takes their money, and you're already committed to the job.
I thought you had to agree to it.
No, it pretty much committed me to the job. Took that guy's money, or so he said, and I was like, dude, you circumvented the tiers. You took a $25. I draw you whatever I feel like drawing you for $25. And they're trying to get me to do a fully commissioned poster in full color, full detailed, something that I would charge $300 for. And yeah, I was like, no. So I actually contacted Fiverr and we agreed, and I shut it down. So
no, I don't blame you for that. That's kind of fucked up. I know artists such as Thomas Hodge. He does a lot of artwork for like newer horror movies. He did like the 80s canon type artwork for what was that movie with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy? Was that
Rat 2?
Ratatouille? Speed? Yeah. Well, he did some. I know Ray just posted up a review of a screener that he got called Beats of Rage, and Thomas Hodge was able to do the artwork for that.
Oh, the Dude Designs?
Wasn't it?
Yeah, the Dude Designs, yeah.
The poster.
Yeah, and I talked to him before when I was doing a movie and it's for commission, and I think the price was like $2,000. But that's someone who's been doing work for a lot of like DVD covers and has his brand. And I feel like, like people who don't understand art will look at that and be like, I'm not paying that price. I can make this on my own. And really, you cannot. Like anyone who has any type of like, artistic integrity realizes that it takes a lot of time to put something together and have it complete. And
I think it's funny you say that. I think I get more offended by that than someone actually stealing my work, or someone would try to undervalue me. You know what I mean? Like I don't care if you share my artwork around, because some way or another it'll get back to me. But if you're gonna try to say that my work is only worth $10, like, thank you, no.
And the same would go if you see your printed work on a T-shirt.
Yeah,
that you're not selling. Yeah,
that's happened. Yeah,
that's a huge problem right now.
Yeah, I've seen that happen with a couple different guys.
There was a rash of really bad Day of the Dead bootleg shirts.
What?
Now.
Hey, is Romero's name spelled wrong? Oh, fuck,
it is. That's not Romano. Who is?
Hey now. In Jared's defense, he took that shirt to AC Moore and did a print screen on it and used an ironing board and an iron. All right, he just did that before the live show tonight. It's actually going to peel off tomorrow.
It's like a scratch and sniff sticker.
So, Chris, who are your favorite artists currently, like that are in the business that are working right now? Is there anybody in particular that springs to mind?
Fiona Staples.
Even though she is a great artist, I hear her landscape work is.
Oh, it cut out. What happened? It froze.
I froze. Damn it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Move on.
Okay. No, Fiona Staples, she draws Saga. If you haven't read Saga, you're missing out on a huge part of an important thing in life. Yeah. Man, I don't even know. Fiona Staples, man, I'd marry her tomorrow. If she
You hear that? Here on the Horror Syndicate exclusive.
Yep. No, I love her style. It's so expressive. It's not super complex. There's not a lot of line work in it. It just looks amazing. I think she's doing Saga and the Archie series right now.
Oh, like the serious Archie stuff? Like the
No,
Archie
like the
Afterlife, or-
reboot of the Archie comics. Like the kidsy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it looks good. So I'm not gonna read it because I don't care about Archie.
Jughead.
Yeah, I heard that Riverdale is actually pretty good.
Oh, the show? I
Yeah.
didn't see it. I thought the people were joking, but it actually is a real thing.
Yeah. Who else? Man, yeah, that's about it, really. I'm honest to God, I'm not really up to date with comic books too much anymore because they're so goddamn expensive, and I'm a hypocrite. Because I'm like, you should pay for art, but comics are expensive. No, when I started reading comics, they were like 89 cents a comic, and now they're $4, $5. It's crazy. No, I buy the trades.
Mm-hmm. Well, everyone's hopped on the comic train. I mean, look at all these conventions nowadays. Like they outnumber the horror conventions like 10-1.
Yeah, but I've never been to one.
You ever been to a comic convention?
No, well, no, that's not true. I did go to the Philly one in 2003.
Philly Comic-Con?
Yeah, the Philly Comic-Con. I did go, but I went and I talked to a couple artists there about working for Marvel Comics, and they're like, well, just submit your portfolio. And I'm like, but it's here right now. Look at it.
That's funny that you said that because I went to the Philly Comic-Con in 2003.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I did. And which was the Star Wars that just came out? Was it
I think it was the last of the prequels.
Was it the last of the prequels? Was it Attack of the Clones?
No, I think it was the last
Revenge of the Sith.
It was Revenge of the Sith.
I don't remember.
I almost said was it the Return of the King? That shows you how fucked up I am.
Yeah, I don't think.
But no, I went there and I went to a Highlander 2 panel. I don't know if you ever seen the Highlander 2, The Quickening, but there was a panel for it, and I went to it, and it was extremely interesting.
Did you go in the little interactive thingy they had set up? Remember that thing?
Yeah, I didn't go in there.
It was like a car insurance thing. Yeah, that was the big thing in 2003 is interactive booths about car insurance.
Wow.
Look what we got now. We got 3D porn.
Yeah, Billy D. Williams was there. I remember that, and he looked really bad then.
There was a sushi bar in the hotel lobby. I remember that. I got hit on by an elf.
That was me.
Was you? Oh man, worst hand job ever.
I was practicing.
Yeah, he practically de-gloved me.
But no, I'm glad that we got to
occupy a space.
Yeah,
together.
Wow, small world.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, there's a question in the comments there from Jesse Gordon.
Jesse Gordon. Yeah, well, I was gonna wait till we had 3 more questions to read them, but I'll read the comments that we have so far. All right, so after Randy Rock, he said thanks, Bay, which is my initials. So I don't know who he's talking to there. We have Ashley Patrick saying Chris.
Hey.
With 4 exclamation marks.
Only 4?
Only 4. Then we have Jesse Gordon. He, she, I can't tell. This picture's
we don't judge gender.
All right, so
be safe than sorry.
Not assuming gender, Jesse Gordon. Are there any comic writers you always wanted to work with?
Oh, yeah. Anyone that will pay me. Let's see here. I would love to have worked with Chris Claremont. I think he's still writing. I don't know. He might have come back, and he wrote X-Men for like 15 years, like everything. Yeah, mostly Chris Claremont. I think he'd be the one I'd want to work with because he's so expressive in his dialogue and his narrative. So silly. And I'm hooked on that right now because I have Marvel Unlimited and I'm literally reading through every issue of the X-Men from the first one. So it's been hard.
Do you remember I don't know if you guys were into I watched the X-Men cartoon show a lot when I was a kid.
The one from '92.
Yeah, and they did the toy line. There was one like offshoot of the toy line where they had. It's funny because it was called like X-Men Mutants, but they're already mutants. But you could put like monster parts on them, and they had Cyclops was like a fucking Cronenberg body horror nightmare. He had like a giant eyeball stalk for a head, and like his bones were sticking out. You know what I'm talking about?
I had him.
I had that as a kid. It was the coolest fucking toy. You guys know what I'm talking about?
I think Colossus was a werewolf.
Yeah, they did like a whole set of like it was just really because like Cyclops is all like exposed muscle. He looked like Cronenberg mixed with like Uncle Frank from Hellraiser.
Good luck
really
finding
cool.
them.
Yeah, they're probably expensive as hell.
Well, all of them are going up in price because for a while there I was collecting them again, and you can get them all for like $5, $6. Now they're up in like the 30, 40 range because everybody decided to follow my trend.
Maybe you guys could help me out. I collected a lot of toys when I was a kid, just like everyone else here in the 90s. X-Men was popular. I had a Cyclops where they had like a button in the back of the head and you pressed it and his eyes would light up red.
Uh-huh.
I don't know who this is. If you guys can see who this is.
That's Cable.
It is Cable? That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, you see the Xfinity logo on his belt. That's how you know.
He's survived my treasure chest collection, and inside the treasure chest collection, I have a bunch of figures that I've collected throughout the years, and a lot of them got lost.
Dildos.
Yes, yes. I have 2 different types of Duke Nukems. I have Camo Duke, and I have Alcoholic Duke.
But you have Octobrain with slime.
I wish. I have a lot of different types of figurines, but you guys continue talking. I'll pull some out so you guys can see.
I have a half-melted Swamp Thing.
I have a couple Swamp Thing toys. Those toys were fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's time to take care of these unmen.
That was Return of the Swamp, right? After that movie came out, they like released like a whole line of toys.
Yeah, well, they did a whole cartoon show. I have the DVD of it. It's only like 6 episodes.
I hear that comic got better.
Yeah, R.L. Stine wrote for that comic for Swamp Thing.
It was struggling for a little bit, and I heard it got better. I don't read a lot of DC, but I think I would pick up Swamp Thing under DC, or is it Vertigo?
I'm not sure. I think it's DC, isn't it?
I know they use them in DC, but I think it'll be Vertigo. I don't remember. Again, I don't read it, but I would read Swamp Thing.
I love the Swamp Thing movie that Wes Craven made. Because
those movies are so good, bad.
It's because like he doesn't. So he's like all like a buff like swamp monster and everything, and then all these guys with machine guns come and attack him, and he just throws people. He doesn't actually do anything. He just tosses them.
Well, you have to remember he's empowered by the swamp.
Well, but he tosses people, and then arbitrarily he smashes a man's head with his foot until it explodes, like out of nowhere. You know, maybe he was still high off of banging Adrienne Barbeau and that weird like hallucination, like under like in the bog screw scene. Maybe that's why he got all excited. But he just like straight up is like and just explodes a dude's head out of nowhere. And it's just like really graphic and wonderful.
You know, there's a missed opportunity in the Swamp Thing, Captain Planet.
That would have been a fucking wonderful mashup. But I don't think they would really verse each other, would they?
No, they would be on a team. It probably.
There you guys go. Like I said, Camo Duke Nukem and Alcoholic Duke Nukem. Nice. Which one's which?
Yeah, I can't tell.
They were packaged together.
I have a John Leguizamo action figure.
Nice.
From too long.
Just off John. That one too. That's from Spawn.
It's from Spawn.
You can Leguizamo because of Mario.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I have Jay from Men in Black, the original Jay.
I remember those toys.
I never bought any of them.
And then I know Lex will get a quick kick out of these.
He's asleep.
I'm not asleep.
Lex Quinn. Oh my
Oh,
God,
wow.
Lex! Look at that.
What?
Where did you get that?
What is it?
Brian, talk so I can see it.
No, what the? I didn't see it.
Brian, can talk. You can't see on
It's
the.
the
Yes.
Ivy monster from Resident Evil 2.
What
Oh my
what toy line is
God.
that? That's amazing.
That's so fucking cool.
This is fuck. What was the name of it?
Mike, she's gonna leave.
Capcom Toy Biz.
Was that the old toy? I have a
You
bunch
have
of those.
Resident Evil toys that you.
Yeah,
won't
but I don't
let
have
me
the Ivy. That's really cool.
Simo. And who else do I have? Oh, I got this guy.
Brian, that's a Stranger
Oh
Things.
my god.
There
Yeah,
you go.
there's the tyrant. Is it that does the heart still have his goop inside of it, or did it dry
No,
out?
it does not. I think it has evaporated, but it has the button in the back.
If
Yeah,
I would
make
have
it
known we were
throb.
gonna share our toys,
Yeah, I've got
Yeah,
so many
well-
Resident Evil toys downstairs, but they're packed away.
I would have brought. my
Otherwise,
entire-
Lex Quinn will take them.
I would have
I
brought
have, I have a whole bunch of Resident Evil toys. I have this guy. He survived.
Yep, I still have him in the liquor.
Yep.
I got him the liquor Funko Pop, and he got me all Resident Evil Funko Pops on Valentine's
And then
Day.
of course,
the Batmobile.
yeah, it's a little fun.
Man, I love Superman.
You lost the gun or the rocket.
Well, the gun's right here. It's
Yeah.
inside. And it won't come out, and I've been struggling with it for about 26 years.
25 years, yeah.
Yep. So
This is interesting podcasting. This is the way to do it. This is the way.
I wanted to show because we sometimes we venture away from horror stuff, and we talk a little bit about like non-horror stuff, and we start talking about action figures, and
He's
I
a
gotta show,
yeah, there we go.
gotta
Like-
show you some guys.
No,
I
that's
wish
cool.
I could show you my toy collection. There's so many of them.
Yeah, they're like purple and big and black.
Some of them have spikes on them.
Yeah, some of them have like little shaky things on them that shake while you
So,
turn them on.
Brian, you'll get a kick out of this. For Valentine's Day last year for Lex, I got her the entire line of the. Oh, I'm not telling you that story. I'm talking about the other toys.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
the whole line of Resident Evil Funko Pops. But we were in the middle. Well, I was in the middle of playing Resident Evil 7 while Lex backseat gamed, and so she comes over to my house, and all the lights were out, and the only light source was an old oil lantern that was lit on in my downstairs, and there was a bunch of photographs that like close-ups of different places in my house, and it said on the back, I hid something special here. See if you can find it from Resident Evil 7, like the treasure hunt stuff. And each one of those was a clue, and each of the Funko Pops was hidden around my house, which had used the lantern to have the music, Don't Tell Aunt Rhody, that song in the beginning.
Go
Tell Aunt Rhody playing, and then each one of them had a chocolate gold coin, and the coins were redeemed in a big bird cage that had the final pop figure in it with some candy. So Capcom should hire me to do interactive events is what I'm getting at with this.
That's love right there. That's romantic.
Yep.
Oh, that was great.
It was pretty wild. And then Lex Quinn got me a set of toys. But I guess I can't talk about those.
So the line of Fantasy Dragon dildos that they're announcing.
Yes.
Bad Dragon.
Bad Dragon. Yeah.
She
Actually, she got me
corrected the shit out
she
of
got
that.
me the Ovipositor so I could play Aliens. But
No.
that's a topic for a whole nother podcast.
Why not make it this podcast?
I got a request. If anyone comes across the laying down Ian Malcolm Funko Pop, just send it to me.
From Jurassic Park, the Jeff Goldblum with the
With the
plumage.
shirt open.
Does that exist?
Yes.
It does. It's only at Target, so run to Target, get it for me.
Yeah, it's a
I-
chart. We were on the hunt earlier today for it.
It's the only one I want. I hate those stupid things. I hate the Funko Pops, but I want that.
Didn't
I
you
do have
send
a
a
Chef
GIF?
Golden.
Didn't you send a GIF, Brian, that had Sam Neill when he was had
Yeah, like,
listening to the breath? but he was actually like laying on a superimposed.
Yes.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I missed that GIF, whatever.
We all wish we could be Alan Grant.
Moms choose GIF, Brian.
I love the laugh that Ian Malcolm does on the plane. And he's just like, so you study dinosaurs? I can't do the laugh. You do it, Mike.
Maybe they did it off camera.
they have a 10-hour compilation of Jeff Goldblum doing the laugh from Jurassic Park.
Made it through all 10.
So speaking of Goldblum, why don't we talk about the new Jurassic Park movie?
Ooh, I love it.
Did it come out already?
No, it's not out yet.
I already like it though. No, it's not out yet, but I love it. I love Jurassic Park. That is my favorite movie of all time. In the summer of 1993 when that came out, it changed my world.
I probably watched that movie 5 times in the theaters.
Yeah, I saw it probably 5 or 6 times. At my theater, they had a big display with like a little set, like jungle set outside, and they had dinosaur eggs. I don't know if there was a raptor or something. There was something there. I don't remember what it was though. But yeah, that movie was like a fucking religious experience.
Yep, it just changed everything.
I used to take my dad's shaving cream cans and pretend that they had fucking embryos in them.
I only use that brand of shaving cream because of that. I'm not kidding.
That was one of the first movies that like really implemented like surround sound in the theaters too.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
I used to say that it held up for a long time, but it's starting to show its age now.
Yeah, well, it definitely does because it's really awesome. And most movies nowadays are complete garbage. So you know it was made like 15, 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then like the Chronicles of Riddick was made like, what, 5 years ago? And it was like utter garbage.
Chronicles of Riddick for Xbox was pretty amazing.
Escape from Butcher Bay?
Yeah.
Fucking, hey, that game was awesome. It was basically Manhunt in first person.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Ving Rhames. Diesel was in it for some reason.
Ving Rhames.
Ving Rhames is going to be in the Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, isn't he in the new prequel to the Dawn of the Dead remake, Shop Till You Drop?
I thought he was dead.
No, this is a prequel.
No, I mean, I thought Ving Rhames was dead.
The person?
Yeah.
The actual person? I don't think so.
You racist. That's Michael Clark Duncan.
No, Oh. I didn't mean that.
I'm kidding. I'm fucking with you. We
No,
only have 3 viewers right now, and I'm pretty sure they're laughing.
And one of them's probably Lex Quinn.
No, Lex Quinn's watching cockatoo videos on her phone.
She is.
I'm so glad that tonight's episode is important.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's watching videos of a cock or two.
Mike, what was he saying? What were you saying, Brian?
No, he said that it's nothing.
He was asking what you're watching.
Oh. Well, one of the videos was that link I sent you with the Star versus
Oh, yeah.
Forces of Evil parody.
So you guys are on that level? You're linking each other? Yeah. Does Mike know?
Oh, I'm aware.
Yeah. Me and Lex are huge hardcore Resident Evil fans. I
like the good ones. 4, 5, 6.
Hey, I love 1, 2, 3, Code Veronica, 4, 5.
You're right. I love
terrible. 7 is good.
I love one of those too.
No, hey, since we're here,
you like the first one, second one, third one, Code Veronica, and the 7th one.
Since we're talking about Resident Evil, I played the shit out of the first one as a kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's the only horror video game I've ever played.
Really?
Really?
And I actually didn't play it. My cousin played it, and I steered him.
I used to do that to my little brother because after the part where the dogs bust through the window in the beginning, I was so fucking scared that I made my little brother play it, and then I'd make fun of him for getting scared. I was such a douche.
We put that in, and we booted it up down in my cousin's basement with the lights off. And when the first zombie came, I ran up the stairs. Like, you know, when you first go in the room and then it turns around, I ran up the stairs.
First zombie.
Yeah. I was like, what did we get into? This isn't supposed to be
if you play as Chris, you got to run back and get Jill's gun unless you want to take your chance and knife him. But if you play as Jill, you can just run back into the dining room with Barry, and then Barry will shoot the zombie for you. Jill's a lot easier scenario.
Barry didn't get much credit.
Barry's in that game a lot. Well,
No, I mean,
playing as Jill.
I mean, beyond the game, Barry was forgotten mostly.
Well, not Wesker was the one who was forgotten because he only showed up like once or twice.
Really? I feel like Wesker was always around.
No, he was in the beginning. You see him acting all shady and like near the end of the game, and then at the end of the game, he's like,
I'm Wesker.
Douchebag. Yeah.
I'm gonna pull this out.
Oh yes.
This sweet little.
Look at that. Oh, that's not even a director's cut. That is the original.
This is the giant. This is the giant open. Like this is the original release of Resident Evil. Like the big one that's the size of a full novel.
Yep. That's
Does it still smell like Toys R Us in there?
It actually it smells like Stop and Save, which is the store I bought it at many years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that has the hilarious picture of Chris. Like,
why does he look like
he looks
like he had some type of issue with his face?
During the whole
the 90s were a strange time.
The Contra era.
Yeah, things happened back then. No, the original Resident Evil, we went from. Are you picking lights?
No. I'm just running my
Oh, she's got crack bugs. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Not bad.
Oh my god.
The original Resident Evil. I try to explain to people that didn't play it when it came out. It's like we went from Sonic the Hedgehog to that.
Yeah.
That game, when I saw it, it was like, this is fucking real life.
There he is. That's the son of a bitch that scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Yeah, the original zombie.
Do you ever were you guys ever able to see the uncut German intro? That's all in color.
No.
Isn't that like gorier? Like you could see the dogs actually eating the stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah.
It's so sexy. You guys need to check it out.
Awesome. Do they show like when they pull the gun up with the severed hand? Does it show the stump and stuff?
Yeah, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
It does, and it has different music for the intro when it does the casting call.
Barry Burton.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people that are going to be poorly represented with 6 polygons.
Yeah.
So that's surprising that they had the German version was uncut because the Germany is notorious for their censorship, especially at that time period.
You know what's crazy? There are literally no credits in this manual.
Yeah, nobody made Resident Evil.
It just came into existence.
Evil was just it was kind of a weird rushed production. Like they tried to find all the actors who did the live intro, but the only person they couldn't find was the girl who did Jill Valentine.
Oh no, they have the guy that played Wesker. They've got Sonya Blade. They've got Jax, Scorpion. They're all in there.
Barry, they're able to get an interview with him, and they asked him if he was if he remembers Resident Evil, and he says that people ask him about it all the time, and that he would love to come back.
That's fantastic.
Look at that.
Hello, Cody Bishop. You just commented.
Yeah.
Hello,
Cody Bishop.
No.
Look at that.
Yeah, you never saw that?
Director of a fan film called Voorhees. Thank you, Cody, for joining us tonight. I hope you're having fun. We're talking a little bit Resident Evil. What is that?
There. That's like some tubes that are broken, and that's
test tubes.
Yeah, this is back when games had real packaging.
So fucking cool.
Yeah, I know, because you just spittled all over it.
Shut up.
You really devalued it, Lex Quinn.
Jeez.
You're not gonna get anything for it now.
Yeah, now when I sell it on eBay.
If you're gonna sell it, you're gonna sell it to me.
I'm gonna draw a number 4 on there with marker, and then it'll be worth something.
Fucking murder.
You know what? Resident Evil was, there's always a sitter with Resident Evil. Like when we were kids, you never played the game alone. You always had cousins with you who were too afraid to play it, so you always had the main player. And I was always the main player while everyone else watched me play, and they would be like, "Why are you doing that? You were just here. Don't do that." I'm like, "Fine, you play." They're like, "No, I don't want to play. I don't want to play."
Well, I remember when I first played it, I thought that when I was playing with my brother, we didn't understand the concept of, I don't want to say it's like an open game, but you know what I mean? You were able to traverse the map, I mean, it's still very linear, but you could go where you wanted. We thought that getting past a room was the same as beating a level in an old game. We were playing Sega Genesis, and then we got this PlayStation thing and got Resident Evil. And so I'm like, oh, we got to the basement, as though that was progression. But
it is. That absolutely is.
We got, and you get your ass kicked down there, and then there's I remember the part with the sharks, I walked into the room, and then they played the video, and the sharks were there. I went right back out of the room, and I stood in front of the door for like 10 minutes trying to work up the nerve to go in. But this was in real time. Like, it doesn't, like, nothing is gonna, like, come through the door. Like, you know, I don't know what I was psyching myself up for. It's a video game, but I was like, I can't go in there. You don't understand. Fucking Jaws lives in there.
It's funny you said that, because when I played Resident Evil 2 as a youngin', I didn't have a memory card, and I was too afraid to get past, because I kept dying in the beginning of the game after the first BMF, and I would just like die trying to get by those zombies, or I would waste all my ammo trying to get to Kendo's gun shop. And I finally made it past Kendo's gun shop, and I was in the alleyway, and I was hurt, and I didn't have a memory card, and I thought I got so far in the game that I paused it, and I had it playing throughout the entire night, and I had to go to school the next day. And I go back home, and I hear, oh.
That's like
That's such a good
that's
impersonation
fucking
of it.
great.
That was pretty
And I
good,
was
dude.
like, I'm like, oh my god, what is that fucking? I let the game on.
Yeah. Dude, I remember when we got Resident Evil Director's Cut, it came with the demo for Resident Evil 2, and I was like, oh my god, it's in a city. It's in a city, and I played the demo over and over again, thinking that I was doing it wrong because it stopped. And I'm like, this is the game. This is the whole game. They just put it in here. And I also, when I first saw Resident Evil, I played with the kid down the street, because no one had the game. It was always the guy down the street or the neighbor or a friend. You know, you never actually owned it. And I played it at his house. His older brother had it. We snuck into his room, and he's like, you got to see this game. It's called, like, The Evil House or something. And I'm like, whoa. And we go in, and he's like, it's got these mummies, but you've got to kill them twice. Then all their blood comes out. And because, you know, you shoot them, they fall over, and then they get back up, and you shoot them again, and then you see the puddle of blood, means they're dead. So I watched it, I run home, and I'm screaming at my mom, we've got to get The Evil House with the mummies. And she's like, what the hell are you talking about? I was like, no, wait till their blood comes out when we're playing it. And everyone's like, the blood did come out. Look, it's spraying. I'm like, no. It's got to come out on the floor.
It's got pool out.
And it always fucked you up when you saw a zombie laying on the ground. There was no pool of blood.
Yeah.
Like, you're just like, oh, it's okay. He's dead. He's got my leg.
Yeah, that's always a fucking bullshit cheap shot. That's how Chris used to do that to me. He'd be passed out on the floor, and I think he's gone. I walk by, and he snags my ankle and starts biting me.
The worst part was when I walked in the room and Lex was being devoured by crows.
Yeah.
That was rough.
Hey, it could be worse. She could be getting devoured by the counting crows.
Ah.
Or I could have been.
Actually, I was more worried about Cheryl Crow.
By yawn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really lost.
So
that.
who on Facebook land? What are your guys' favorite Resident Evil games? Let's put that question out there.
I like that Biohazard.
Which was your favorite Resident Evil, Chris? Oh, you only played the first one.
Well, no, I played the first one, but I've watched up into the third one. I never played the fourth one at all.
The second, you're a lucky bastard. The second one is the best.
I liked the third one a lot. I thought that was pretty cool.
Third one's got cool stuff. Yeah, Nemesis is awesome.
The second one was pretty cool because it was neat being in a little city, and you know, back in the time when we were young and video games were very linear, and you're like, oh man, I can't wait for the day when I can go in any one of these rooms and any door, and now we have that, and we're all ungrateful bastards.
Well, no, it's because there's nothing in those rooms.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That's just like, oh, look, more open space. Thank you, open world game.
Oh, speaking of video games, if anyone plays Sea of Thieves, you can find me on Xbox. I sail the high seas.
Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
I'm a Prince of Thieves.
Yeah, my username. Shit, what is it?
I don't know, Chris. I have no idea.
Oh, it's Crypt Keeper 2885. That's it.
Crypt Keeper. Jesse Gordon says Resident Evil 2 is their favorite. Good. Resident Evil 2 is the best. It's one of the best games ever made.
It is, followed closely by Resident Evil Nemesis. But that's just me.
Well, Nemesis had, like, I think we've talked about this before, but Nemesis had the best opening video. Yeah. I used to let that shit loop over and over again. And I still haven't seen a video game that excited me as much as that opening video.
It's the only part of the entire video game franchise that they put into the movies. That's the only part. It's like
Damn it,
30
Jared.
seconds
It's
long.
either Night of the Demons or fucking Nemesis.
You
Yeah.
ever the reboot remake?
Of Resident Evil?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the
First one,
remake, yeah, the
yeah.
GameCube.
I've
one's
never got a
fucking
chance to
phenomenal.
play them.
It's
I never-
so good.
They're
They
so
put them out for
good.
Xbox One. They remastered them. They're
Yeah,
gorgeous.
they remastered them.
Guess what I probably won't do?
Play Resident Evil 0 because it's garbage.
Yeah, that's right.
Jesse Gordon, the guy, not female. Jesse Gordon says, and I agree with him. The worst, the weird. Well, actually, the weird prequel. He didn't say the worst. I thought he said the worst, but I'll say the worst. He says the weird prequel, Resident Evil 0, messes with the continuity, and yes, it does. That's why it's a piece of garbage game.
Pretty sure they fucked up their own continuity.
No, Resident Evil 0 is like beyond bad. Like it really is. I mean, Billy
Cohen.
Mays, whatever the fuck his name is.
Billy
Billy Cohen.
here.
He's like super hot with his tribal tattoos and his cowboy boots. You know, standard military prisoner garb.
Remember when tribal tattoos were hot though? I mean, I don't.
I still have all my tribals.
Yeah,
I would take my shirt off and show you guys, but
Yeah.
you know, I charge for that on the webcam.
yeah.
But yeah, so those Resident Evil movies, those
You
are
can
really,
find them
Yeah,
on
I
Grindr,
have-
folks.
I have a tribal tramp stamp, and above it says World Star.
oh, you got a half-hearted chuckle from Lex Quinn. I don't know what that reference is from, Brian.
Oh, laughing at bird videos.
Yeah.
I'm not watching bird
I was
video.
dead.
So this is pseudo on topic, but I was mulling over this the other day. I woke up and the first thought I had upon waking was, how the fuck did Paul Anderson, the man who directed the fucking, I'm not gonna say directed, excreted the Resident Evil film series, was the same fucker that made Event Horizon, which is a brilliant movie. How the fuck does that happen?
He had the luck of a draw, I guess. He made one good movie, and his entire legacy is based off of making really bad video game adaptations.
I mean, Mortal Kombat is probably up there with, Gone with the Wind and The Man in the Iron Mask for me.
Oh yeah.
No,
I
Mortal
was
Kombat was
understand.
garbage
Oh, are we
compared to Street Fighter.
For a second?
Uwe Boll, we can.
All right. So I used to
Mortal
work.
Kombat's not that bad, Brian.
I have a funny story about Uwe Boll and horrible movies.
Uva.
When I used to work at AMC when I was a kid. Well, not a kid, but like kind of still in high school.
Child labor laws.
And House of the Dead came out.
I saw it in the theater.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, yeah.
When I worked there, that is the only movie in the history of the theater where the entire audience threw all of their food at the theater and demanded a refund. It took us 2 hours to scrub that theater and clean the screen.
That's amazing. See, what I love about House of the Dead, which I own on DVD back there, because for a while I used to have parties where we get drunk, and I'd always put that on to piss people off. When they're showing the characters, like when they do like the video game screens, where it shows each of the people and they're like spinning around in a circle and they have their name and all their stats, they have the girl come up and it says, skill, the sword master, weapon, shotgun. I was like, what the fuck?
She didn't have a sword. I mean, she's obviously
It
skilled
was
with
the
it.
most
but
aggravating thing. Well, aside from the rest of the movie,
I hated that
Like,
movie.
have it.
they literally put clips of the arcade
Yeah.
game into the movie
That's horrible.
as transitions, and I'm like, what the? I mean, that's why I can't completely hate it, because at least there was about 48 seconds of the video game in there.
And he's
Didn't Yui Ball do that?
Yes,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
and he's currently trying to sue the people that are making that Rampage movie.
yeah. He thinks they made those shitty
Yeah.
fucking Rampage movies that he did, where it's like, it's a guy poorly improvising. There was no script. So they're all improvising dialogue, and he goes off and like he just like shoots random people or something. I can't remember. I watched it once. There's like 3 of them.
The first one's not bad, but they progressively get worse.
Yeah.
They're pretty bad.
I think Postal was probably Uwe Boll's best movie.
Well, this was actually a movie, but I mean, so much of it was just jokes from the game, so you can't really lose with that. And the guy from Titus, I can't remember his name. He's a really good actor. I love him.
Zach Ward.
Zach Ward, yeah, he rocks. He's in Freddy vs. Jason as well.
Yeah.
But the Rampage, Uwe Boll is now claiming that they stole the title and concept from him. Rampage is an arcade game from like the late 80s.
Right.
And the new movie is a complete adaptation of that. Literally, it's about like a giant wolf, a giant like lizard, and
gorilla.
Giant orangutan.
giant wrestling star that
Gorilla.
every fucking movie right now.
Can't we just sue Uwe Boll for destroying the Blood Rain franchise?
Oh my god. Okay, I mean, in his defense, the Blood Rain franchise did a pretty good job of destroying itself. The parts of the Nazis were really fun, but those games were garbage otherwise.
Yeah.
Makes me sad, Panda, hearing you say that.
I know, I love them. I play them. Don't get me wrong. Or played. Well, the second one I couldn't. I played like 45 minutes of it and got rid of it.
I skipped that one straight to the Legacy of Kain.
Oh, Legacy of Kain Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver was the most aggravating game on the planet. It was Tomb Raider with a different skin.
Fun fact, I drew the shit out of that guy.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, what is his name?
Azrael.
Yeah, I drew him. I had like this obsession with drawing people with scars around their mouths.
That's because Chris was actually a fashion designer at one point. He predicted the new hipster trend of the scarves.
I can see it.
Yep.
You know what the best video game movie adaptation is?
What's that list one?
The first Silent Hill movie.
The first Silent Hill movie actually was a really excellent adaptation.
I was going to get ready to give you some kind of shit, but I can't disagree.
No, that movie was awesome. And they used the whole soundtrack from the games, which was fucking amazing. When I saw it in the theater, I about shit my pants.
That little girl did an awesome job.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Which movie?
Silent Hill.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Silent Hill, the second one was embarrassing. I almost walked out of it.
Hey.
I'm kind of a Street Fighter guy.
Oh,
yes, thank you,
Jared, if I may.
That's the best video game.
No, I'm definitely a Super Mario Brothers the movie guy.
Oh my god, yes.
Well, so what was with the early 90s and like dystopian post-apocalyptic futures?
Dude, you
like
can't
Total Recall had the same set as the Mario Brothers movie.
And so did Demolition Man. And
and
Tank Girl and
Tank Girl.
No,
Yeah.
but
Have you guys even seen Double Dragon?
Double Dragon. I was just thinking that. Just thinking that.
Yes. Oh my god. and fucking don't forget Battletoads. You guys remember that movie?
They made a movie about that?
Yeah, it was with
What?
No, I'm sorry, that was Spice World. I was got those two combined confused. Shit.
I see where you went there. That's hilarious.
No, Super Mario Brothers was amazing.
No, that movie is like super fucking weird. It's got
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper de-evolving, but I mean, he does
Bring me those plumbers.
He does that.
I mean, come on.
TCM 2, rather.
I mean, despite the horrible abortion of the movie itself, it was a great idea. Like, how do you pull off Mario Brothers?
No, I mean, I'm just happy to see two strong Italian leads in a movie.
My favorite was when Dennis Hopper had the gas mask and he goes, "Baby wants to fuck."
Yeah, he's Candy Corn Clown, and then John Leguizamo comes up and jumps on his head. Right? And he's taking hits off the oxygen tank.
And then Bob Hoskin doesn't know where he's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's looking for a cartoon rabbit.
Yeah, he thought he was
finds his favorite ear. That was Mario Brothers 2, wasn't it?
Do you guys ever notice that Bob? You guys ever notice that Bob Hoskins wears a flesh colored cast because he broke his finger during production, and they had to film some of the scenes, and he had to pretend that his hand was okay, but he has like a flesh colored cast on his arm.
I was absolutely in love with the girl that played Daisy back in the day.
Samantha Mathis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was cute.
Loved her, man. Like I saw that movie because of her, I think. And then at the end when she bursts in and it's like all super apocalypse, she's like, "You gotta come back," and then it ended, and then we never got a sequel.
Damn.
Bullshit.
Well, no. The sequel,
Sorry,
the sequel was Mario Brothers Super Scope.
No.
Okay.
Honest to God, this funny story about the sequel. There was a planned sequel, and it got adapted into a comic book. It's online. And I actually got in contact with the people that were writing it. I wanted to be involved in it. And they were like, "Well, if you pitch us an idea, we already have the main artist and the main story, so we can't do that." So I came up with this really cool idea to take Bullet Bill and make him an outlaw bounty hunter. And
was he
hunting,
still shaped like a bullet?
Well, he had the the guns and
Well, he should literally have been
No.
like a mascot suit.
No,
And then at
he
the end, they load him into a giant gun.
No, I was doing it, and it was pretty cool, and the guy was excited, but then I just never did it because I was like, no one reads this. No one's going to read it.
Was it like a real thing, or was it a fan thing?
It's a legitimate thing on the internet. Look up Super Mario Brothers movie, the sequel.
No, I mean, like in stores and shit? Like it actually got
No,
released?
it was only online.
Oh, okay.
It's still going on, I think.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure it's still
Is
happening.
it licensed?
I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe, I think so.
See,
Was Babam a sexual predator?
Probably. They had Toad actually looked like he looked like a mushroom guy because he wore a helmet that had the
mushroom tip.
It was actually kind of cool. It was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
They climb into giant bird mouths.
The thing was like a portal from another dimension opened, and the shy guys were coming through.
Yeah,
and they were like ninjas. That's pretty cool.
Huh?
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah. Look, I had an obsession with the Mario Brothers for a long time.
I love the movie.
Yeah.
So back on I'm going to veer this back into horror territory for a second. When you said about the Bob Hoskins wearing the flesh-colored cast, did you guys know that during the filming of The Thing, Keith David's hand was broken? So they actually they painted his bandages black. And if you look closely, he's always hiding. I think it's his right hand. It's never in the shot. He always has it like tucked behind him because his hand was like ballooned. It was so huge. They put a glove on it. That's what it was. And his hand is broken the whole time. So when you watch the movie again, you'll never be able to not see him awkwardly hiding his hand.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think he hit a wall or something happened. I want to say it was either a car accident or something happened on set where he heard it, and then he's just hiding it. But if you look closely on the Blu-ray, especially, it's really obvious.
What happened was him and Kurt Russell tried to emulate Schwarzenegger with the handshake, and
Carl Weathers,
but it was too much.
And then broke it.
They went a little over the top with it, and it just
in the end, Keith David didn't get to earn the respect of his illegitimate son, so it was a pretty sad ending.
And then he tried to punch dance out his rage against Rowdy Piper, and they lived for like 10 minutes.
Yep.
In a supermarket. Oh,
yeah, he did run out of bubble gum though, so.
They have Jones. They have a soda. I found it in Philadelphia called it's Roddy Piper All Out of Bubblegum, and it's bubblegum flavored soda.
Ew.
They even have All Out of Gum brand gum, and I was like, but this is filled with gum. How does this work? And the guy at the store had no answers for me.
Yeah.
It was on South Street. It was some candy shop that just opened called like Rocket Fizz or something like that. It's this huge place. They also had King Kong soda, but I don't know what it was.
That reminds me. They're making a Duke Nukem movie with John Cena, and it's like Duke Nukem had all those like one-liners in the video game, and like 3D, and like I think Time to Kill were like the best games in the entire series, and I don't know if we can reboot a Duke Nukem because he was cool back in the. It's kind of like real life. It's like the uncle who was really cool back in the 90s, but now he's just super rapey.
Yeah, I mean, the new Duke Nukem game, Duke Nukem Forever, was actually uncomfortably sexual because they made it like super, like they just took it way too far, and because graphics are so realistic now, and you can do so much more than you were allowed to in the 90s, like it was uncomfortable. Like there was a whole segment, a dream sequence, where you wander through a strip club and you have to like get presents for a stripper, and then you get a blowjob in a glory hole, and then it gives you like extra health. And it was just weird. It was like a 3-minute POV shot of him getting his dick sucked, and I'm like, I wanted to shoot aliens. This is weird. Like I don't think it's not funny. It's just really uncomfortable.
And you can get miniaturized and drive around in your little car.
Yeah, there's parts of that game that weren't bad, but there was a lot of bad shit.
Did you ever see the actual unreleased concept? Back in like 2000 and I think it was like 2001, and then there's one in 2009.
Yeah,
like the game looks so much better than what we got.
Well, what happened was they had fucking what the hell is the damn 3D Realms, and I think it was Apogee. They were so obsessed with like, because Duke Nukem 3D was the first game that you could like interact with all the stuff. Like you could flush the toilets, you could use the water fountains, you could play pool. they were really big on those little like, gimmicky things that ended up becoming much more popular when with like the Half-Life physics engine and shit much later. But they were obsessed with that kind of stuff. They really wanted to push all the limits of gaming, so what was possible at the time. So they were trying so hard to do all that shit, they were letting major advancements fly by. And then they just didn't release the game because they wanted it to be absolutely amazing as it could be, but they just waited too damn long. And if it would have come out when it was supposed to come out, it would have been really revolutionary. But they waited too damn long. But those concepts were cool. And Brian left the room. He's not even paying attention to what the hell I'm saying.
He gotta go pee.
Yeah, well, it shows how much he cares about my opinion on Duke Nukem and the history.
Let's talk about the history of aliens, colonial marines.
Go for it. I'll let you field that one because I have to go to the toilet really quick.
No, I can't feel that. I don't know enough about it. I just know it was a really shitty game.
It was.
It wasn't that bad. Like
it was garbage.
It was compared to what it was supposed to be. Because I just replayed it recently.
Aliens versus Predator was better, and that was
AVP for the computer, like the originals from like 1999.
I was talking about the PS3 one.
The PS3 one and the Xbox one, that was actually pretty damn good too. It was a little too short, but I mean, I liked it a lot. Like they were definitely cool.
Yeah. It had longevity because you could play as the,
yeah, it's all three.
Alien, all three. Yeah, exactly.
But the original AVP games for the PC from Naughty Dog, those games were fucking amazing.
Played the shit out of that.
Yeah, that Alien, the Marine campaign still scares the shit out of me because you couldn't save, and it was so fucking hard.
I guess I didn't know Naughty Dog did those.
Oh yeah, it's weird.
They make good games.
Yeah. Or wait, was it Big Dog? Hold on.
You got it right there.
Naughty Dog is the company's name. Yes.
No, are you sure Naughty Dog did AVP? Look it up, Lex Quinn.
Do it. I know Naughty Dog that did what's the game my wife likes a lot now? Uncharted.
Yeah, they're good games.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. Rebellion did. What the hell am I thinking Naughty Dog for?
I don't know. They made Crash Bandicoot, Uncharted.
That's probably what I'm thinking of.
Last of Us.
Oh no, I know what I'm thinking
Last of Us.
It wasn't Naughty Dog. It was in the original AVP game in the box.
You're a Naughty Dog.
Ad that said if this game is so scary you're gonna shit yourself. Basically, there's an ad for free underwear from Big Dogs. That's what it was. It was a mail-in rebate for Big Dogs underwear so you can have an extra pair for when you play Alien vs. Predator. That's what it was. It was a hilarious
marketing.
Yeah, it was great. It was absolutely fantastic.
Have either of you guys played the Alien Isolation?
Oh
yes.
my!
I played like 10 minutes of it and scared the shit out of
Fucking
myself.
phenomenal. Lex Quinn.
Oh no!
Here, hop over here and talk about Alien Isolation. I gotta go to the bathroom, but we're right back, guys. We'll have someone that's much nicer to look at than me.
Michael.
I mean, I'm here.
Between you and Chris.
Yep.
Michael.
You're gonna come back to something crazy. And by something crazy, I mean nothing.
Nothing crazy, yes.
Yeah, I played.
Nothing crazy.
Got the shit scared out of me to the point where I never put it back in my Xbox.
When it first came out, I watched it on YouTube because I couldn't. I don't know how old I was, but I wasn't old enough to go out and.
Wait, when Alien Isolation came out?
Yeah, I think.
Not that old.
Well, when was it come out?
2 years ago.
It wasn't 2 years ago, was it?
Yeah.
It came out in 2016.
Unless,
it had to have come out earlier than that.
Unless Mike's not.
Brian.
Hey.
Brian.
Yo.
When did Alien Isolation come out?
I think it came
Alien
out.
Isolation came out in 2015.
Okay. So 15.
3 years.
Yeah, I was 17. But I just watched a bunch of YouTube videos about it because everybody was like IGN was posting all this shit, like how scary is it? And people were like jumping and stuff. But it's really.
I threw up.
It's a really fucking intense game. It's like, honestly, I feel like that type of game is like one of my favorites because I feel like that's true survival horror. Like you're running and hiding, you're not gunning down and killing things. It's like Clock Tower.
Yeah.
Or Outlast, which I really love. I
like Clock Tower.
I love those series so much.
I don't like being anxious though.
I don't know. I kind of like running and hiding, and it's a lot of fun.
Constant anxiety.
No, I'm not a fan of that at all.
Go ahead.
I like games that I can kind of like relax and not shit my pants when I play them. So I'm not. I mean, I've been, you know, what was the one when they're in prison? It was a horror game.
Suffering.
The Suffering. Yeah, my cousin had that. I watched him play that. I mean, I've watched people play a lot of scary games, but I don't play them myself.
I have The Suffering. I have a giant cardboard cutout of the guy in the electric chair downstairs.
Yep, I shit my pants every time I see it.
That's why you have to use the mail-in rebate in the ADP box to get new underwear.
Yep.
Big dogs, Brian.
Big dog.
What's up?
Big dogs.
I have not played the Suffering, or I've not beat the Suffering 2. Let me rephrase it. I beat the Suffering.
The Ties That Bind. The Ties That Bind was the weaker of the two, for sure.
Yeah. Well, the first one was awesome.
The first one's fucking amazing. And then you can play first person or third person. It was amazing.
Do you know that The Suffering inspired Dead Space?
I can believe it. It definitely had that gameplay style.
I never actually got to play that game. I just heard it was like one of the scariest fucking games. When I was in like, I don't know, middle school or whatever, people were talking about it. It was like, you could get killed in the safe room and you have to cut off all their limbs or like.
Wait, are you talking about Suffering or Dead Space?
Dead Space.
Dead Space, you were in middle school?
I can't.
You youngin'! Oh my god! I remember being like a fully grown adult.
When did Dead Space come out?
Like 2009, 2010.
How old are you? Suffering came out. The Suffering came out.
She doesn't know how old she is anymore.
Wow.
Suffering came out like 2001, 2002.
I was in middle school going into high school when The Suffering came out because that came out on my birthday.
Yeah, I remember when it came out. So I was as scared as a 5-year-old.
I came still scares the shit out of me.
I don't know what it is, man. I can watch the movies, I can draw the shit, but I cannot play the games. I just freak out too much. I can't. I'm like, ah!
You know, there's like no game that like scares me except no game ever scared me except for there's a part in Silent Hill 2 where James is in the apartments and you're in the room with the hole in the wall and the green slime coming out and the music just fucking starts going and you know you have to stick his hand in there. That really fucking freaked me out. And the only other one that really scared me was when you're playing Resident Evil 4 and the whole fucking tone of the game changes when you anytime you encounter a Regenerator or Iron Maiden. Those things are so fucking terrifying.
Why do people say that James is a terrible human being?
Because he killed his wife.
Oh, okay.
He smothered her with a pillow because he wanted her out of the way.
Oh.
James is an asshole.
No, she was dying in a hospital.
Oh, wow. That's even shittier. Still could have got a divorce, though. Or just let her die.
Oh, he cared about her, but he was still a shitty person.
Got ya.
Because there are cutscenes in the game where he's yelling at the doctor and he's like,
I need to
can't you do anything to save her?
I need to smother her and kill her.
Well, part of it was the whole game is, you know, symbolic with all the monsters, which are mostly, if not all, sexual. Because it's his sexual frustrations that his wife is, you know, in the hospital and he can't do anything and he feels really shitty about.
Lex is the real star of the cinema.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't care.
I'm sorry.
I've got nothing to talk about.
Yeah, it's you know, like the nurses look the way they are because when he was in the hospital, you know, it's like hot medical people without faces. Like he's just thinking about sex.
Oh.
Because his wife is sick and he can't do anything. So part of it is, you know, he ultimately killed her because he did love her and didn't want to see her suffer, but he also just was fucking frustrated and he couldn't take it anymore.
If I may interject here a minute. To the folks listening to this, spoiler alert.
For a game that's, fucking 15 years old?
Listen,
God.
If you're Silent Hill, Harry dies, okay? That's the real ending.
Yeah.
It was like a Jacob's Ladder type deal.
I've never seen that.
Jacob's Ladder's cool.
You never saw Jacob's Ladder, Chris?
No, what?
You
never saw Jacob's Ladder?
No,
It's good.
it's all.
If you ever want to have like existential crisis in like
About Tim
maybe
Robbins.
at like 3 a.m., I would recommend watching Jacob's Ladder on shrooms.
Jacob's Ladder is cool, but it's such a ripoff of The Machinist.
Speaking of existential crisis, I had an existential crisis today. I was just walking and I was like, man, what if we could feel the world spinning?
Ugh.
And then I just freaked out. It's weird.
What happened? What did you say?
So I had an existential crisis today. I was just walking and I thought to myself, what if we could feel the world spin? And that was it.
That's what that song, Everyone Turn, 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 that's what that's about.
Yeah.
That fear.
It was weird. It bothered me.
Mind blown.
Do everything, turn, turn.
Yep.
You know, that's about that, yeah.
Well, one time I thought I was having a seizure, and it was really just an earthquake.
Oh.
And the earthquake was probably the most scariest thing that ever happened when you're sitting down watching movies. And it's like, you feel the whole floor shake. I had to go to the bathroom, and I was walking to the bathroom, and the whole floor I just felt like the floor came out underneath me, and I was like going through like a fun house. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Am I dying? And I like opened the door to like look outside, and there was like people opening up their front door, and all I hear is, "Was that an earthquake? Was that an earthquake?" And it's like everyone in the neighborhood's going, "Was that an earthquake?"
Go back inside, Janet.
It's like, holy shit. Yeah, I guess it was an earthquake since everyone's doing the same thing I'm doing. I'm just glad I wasn't one of the people who shouted out, "Was that an earthquake?"
You should have shouted, "Is that a volcano?"
It could have been the world shifting, like in The Evil Within and The Evil Within 2, which Jesse Gordon just commented about.
Oh, Jesse Gordon. Yes, The Evil Within.
Never played
Evil Within, I love the first Evil Within. It was more scary than the second one. The second one was more like an open world action.
That game.
The second one's the far superior game, but the first one was cooler.
Did you see all the fucking Resident Evil references the first game had?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So many, especially the first zombie when he turns around and looks at you like in the first.
They have the classic over-the-shoulder aiming system from the original Resident Evil.
Oh my god!
I would like to.
Lex, you're getting so worked up. You should do a game review for our website.
I think I could do that. I love video games.
Do you though?
No, I hate them. Fucking
Lex, I should have you finish my my second part of the rise and fall of the Resident Evil franchise.
Yep, it starts at 1, it ends at 3.
No, Veronica, and you like Code
No, it's
Veronica.
not a numbered sequel. That's different.
It doesn't matter. It's still the 4th Resident Evil game.
Yes, Jesse, I have taken edibles as well and felt the world spin. I mean, I don't know if you recommend it. I don't.
The Evil Within was a really badass game, though. It just was like a pastiche of it was like a mix of every horror trope ever, all combined into one game. And that was fine, but the second one felt way more cohesive. It had a much stronger plot, but the first one just had cooler shit, Like I loved the guy with the safe for a head, the keeper. Was that his name?
I thought you didn't like him.
No, I loved him. He was cool, and I loved the bitch with like 20 arms.
Yeah, and she crawls out of blood pools.
The first one had me screaming at the TV because of there was no ammo anywhere, and it's like you had to use hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, that game was fucking ridiculously hard, but it felt poorly designed hard. It wasn't like organically hard.
I don't know. Back in the day, I didn't really think about that.
Well, Evil Within is not.
Well, I think they were just trying to do so much shit, and there was so much shit in it. It was a lot.
It felt like a fake knockoff of Resident Evil 4.
It was, there was a lot of Resident Evil 4.
It was the game Resident Evil 4 was trying to be. It was the formula of Resident Evil 4 perfected and done with a less ridiculous plotline.
Oh my god, no!
Although you know my favorite part of the original Resident Evil is the lava room. Because when I move into a fucking castle, I need a place to keep all my damn lava. It makes perfect sense. I love how Leon does backflips and wears a fur coat, and he's a bad enough dude to save the president's daughter.
He just took pointers from King Koopa.
You guys talking about Super Mario or Minecraft?
There's a
There might be.
There's a Mario version of Minecraft.
So
Mario Minecraft.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have a question for you, Chris. With all this video game talk we're having, do any of these video games does that influence your art or the dynamics of the way that you do stuff? Do you ever take or look at do you ever take references from video games or anything that inspire you at all with your own work?
No. No, I don't do that. I try not to look at other people's stuff to draw inspiration because I feel like I'm stealing from them. So I usually just try to pull it out of my own head. I don't know.
I'd like to say I respect that, but you're wrong.
I am wrong.
Everybody rips off of everybody.
Yeah, I'm a hack.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think. Like
Wait, we got.
What? Whoop.
We got Rest in Peace PT on the thing. Are they talking about Silent Hill?
Fun fact: my PlayStation still has that on. I have not updated it.
Motherfucker! I want
shit.
that.
Nope.
Because when they first deleted it, there was still a glitch that you could still get it even after they got rid of it.
Oh yeah.
Is that the one with Norman Reedus?
Yes.
I don't.
Well,
play
it was
that
supposed to be Norman Reedus.
Yeah, I don't play that thing, but I have it on there.
What does it stand for again?
Playable teaser.
Yeah, that's right.
It's scary.
It is.
I remember watching a friend play it, and I left and never thought anything about it again until I realized it was supposed to be the fucking next game.
Yeah.
That would have been an amazing game. And you know why they took it off? It was for a fucking pachinko machine.
What?
They canceled PT for a pachinko machine, a Silent Hill pachinko machine.
Hey, listen, pachinko is extremely popular in Japan, and Nicolas Cage was in a bunch of pachinko commercials.
Did you know that if you guys ever played Matt Hazard, the Xbox 360 game, it was a parody of a bunch of different types of video games. It was very funny. But there was a thing you could play dead body pachinko. So however many enemies you killed, then they would give you a bonus screen. You drop their bodies down the thing, and you get bonus points and shit. It was wonderful.
So is pachinko like Plinko?
It's like a box with a bunch of pegs, and you drop stuff, and it's
Plinko from. Yeah.
Is it?
You guys ever played the Burger King game, Sneak King?
Yes, dude. The King was terrifying. Talk about horror, man. That was freaky shit. And then they have the bumper car thing. Yeah, you sneak in the house and fucking give them Burger King. I'm like, I wish somebody would do that to me.
I remember I was working at GameStop back in the day, back when Lex was in kindergarten. And,
what year was that?
Fact check this now.
What year was that?
Someone brought in Sneak King to exchange the game for money.
Oh,
and inside the case was a bag of Coke. And he was like, oh shit, my bad, dog. And I'm just like,
wait, hold on a minute. They fucking put Coke in bags now? Like a bib in the box, like from the soda fountain?
Yeah.
How did you know it was Coke and not root beer?
Oh my god, Michael.
Well, I had to smell it.
Root beer has a different smell.
Yeah, it does.
That's the one that makes your gums numb, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, root bear got me through some tough times when I was working my second job.
Yeah, I had a really bad root beer day.
I started doing merch.
Yeah. Yep.
That was rough.
Yep.
But yeah, no, they had a bag of Coke inside the game case, and I was like, oh shit. And then he was like, oh shit. And then he like grabbed it like really fast. And I was like, technically it's ours because we just paid you money for your trade-in.
Yeah.
Did you keep it then and put it on the shelf with a pre-owned sticker on it? It's like, yeah, we bought this for $1. We're gonna resell it for $15.
Yeah. Yep.
We're gonna sell this for $120.
Yep.
Oh shit, that's what that was.
Did you explain to the guy that because it's pre-owned, it's not really worth anything anymore?
Yeah.
You've got a lot of them in the back room that you can't get rid of.
The only way to play sneaking is to binge cocaine.
Yeah, I believe it.
I would love that as a tattoo. That the art.
The case. So on the topic of bizarre video game stuff, someone just sent me a picture of someone who painted their fingernail to be a scene from Doom, like with the HUD and everything, and I fucking lost my mind. Totally unrelated to anything we were talking about, except pseudo related.
On their fingernail?
Yeah, dude. It's look up Doom fingernail. God knows what you'll find if you Google that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna look that up. I just
It was fucking crazy.
I'm thinking like some fungusified fingernails, probably.
Evil Dead game set in Ash's. Keith Saunders wants a new Evil Dead game set in Ash's hometown where you can free roam. That would be really cool. The Evil Dead games were actually really awesome.
Yeah, the first one for PlayStation was fucking awesome.
Fucking Hail to the King. That game's impossible.
I couldn't even figure out what
I hated that game.
I tried to beat it because I have it still. And it's the only one I haven't beaten. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to beat it. I got like an hour into it. I was like, fuck this game. The controls are so bad.
It's so confusing.
The fistful of boomstick with the midget one was fun.
Yeah, that was fucking badass. No, that was Regeneration.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong one.
I had, Ted Raimi.
Ted Raimi is the voice. I have a copy of that for the PC signed by Bruce Campbell.
Nice.
So someone came into the pizza shop, this woman that I used to talk to who is a big horror geek. She used to come in every Friday night and we'd talk about old movies and pizza. And I was out of work for like a month. I had hernia surgery. And I came back and they're like, hey, Charlie brought this in for you. And it was signed by Bruce Campbell. She had met him at a fucking like breakfast buffet that's in this area called
Old Country Buffet.
No, not Old Country Buffet. Shady Maples. It's like all these famous people go there. Apparently, Bruce Campbell has like family in Reading or something. He was down in the area visiting, and she had that game with him for whatever reason. And got it signed and gave it to me.
The only thing I ever encounter at Shady Maple is angry old people.
Yeah, well, Bruce Campbell fits that bill now.
I wish
Shady Maples does sound like a retirement community.
It does.
Shady Maples, what that is it's basically a place where a bunch of like elderly folks go to have a giant Old Country buffet. Now, if you have one of them where you're at.
Dust off of that.
It's not, the food isn't any better than what you could get at Old Country Buffet, but you pay more money for it, and you have to like fight through crowds of people who think it's good. And then, I don't know, I don't like it. I don't like smorgasbords. It's like the worst in humanity.
Well, yeah, you got the sneeze guards, and you know.
Yeah, you can't even get the food because you can't. You're like reaching, and yeah,
they closed down the Old Country Buffet near my house because they found a dead rat inside the bowl or the container of mac and cheese. Oh. And by dead rat, I mean they found a dead guy in a rat costume.
Nice.
I found it. Right, so this is the game. It's covered in dust.
Yeah.
But it's the instruction manual is signed.
Oh damn. Well, who
was that? The Evil Dead PlayStation game?
I think that she had bought it for like her nephew or something, and then on the way back stopped in there, and fucking Bruce Campbell was in there eating breakfast.
That's insane.
I know. That's funny.
I think he said it's a PC version, right?
I played the Evil Dead Fistful of Boomstick, and then the one where you have a little deadite midget with you.
That's Regeneration.
Yeah, Regeneration.
Yeah, they also oh my god, why the fuck can I not remember what the hell I was about to say? Whatever it was going to be was incredibly insightful and witty. Just, you know, imagine it.
Log that in the brain.
Yeah.
Say that there's a hiccup in the feed, and you said it, and we're all.
Yeah, but no, Shady Maple, like all these famous people go there. Like there was like, I want to say it was like 50 Cent or DMX was always spotted there.
I don't believe that.
No, seriously. Like it was that like people come from all over the place to go there. It's so fucking.
He likes the waffles.
Yeah, like, I don't know why.
That is predominantly old white people.
Dude, well, there was a coworker of mine went there with her girlfriends when they were in high school, and there was an old man masturbating in their gift shop.
I believe
and
that.
The cops came and they fucking took him away. And I've never gone to Shady Maples. I was like,
I don't know if any of you guys have ever encountered the wonders of the Amish folk. But
yeah, I have.
They love Shady Maple.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they were allowed to eat stuff that was prepared with.
Yeah, or well, I don't think they're the Amish. I think they're the Mennonite. You know, the ones that are allowed to have electricity and still get tax credit. Or
that is my favorite Robin Hood movie.
Yeah, Mennonites.
Yeah, I love Mennonites. Keith Saunders asked if we ever played Deceit for the PC. He said it's a free game. I've never heard of it. Actually, no, I have heard of it.
What?
Deceit for the PC.
I don't know.
It's a free game. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to. You guys see the trailer for Agony? The game set in hell.
That game's taking forever.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be out this year, I think. It's like a first person. It's like kind of like Alien Isolation style gameplay, but you're in hell.
I'm more excited for the Resident Evil 2 remake. Come out whenever.
Well,
they call that Resident Evil 4.5, actually.
I'm looking forward to Star Citizen.
Like.
Star Citizen?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
My PC, I built a PC to play that.
What is it?
Star Citizen. It's like basically you pay real money for digital spaceships.
Ooh, that sounds like my kind of game.
And you fly around and do cool shit. And I got it because I was like, oh, well, you get like one free one. And I got the game and I can't even fucking fly it. Bullshit. My computer can't handle it anymore. They beefed up the graphics from what I built. I'm like, fuck it.
So I should not get it.
Unless you're building like the most high-end PC.
Because they're making it for console, though. It's basically it's Fallout 3 meets
No
Star
Man's
Wars.
Sky?
Yeah, pretty much.
The thing is, like, they make you pay real money for the spaceships, and it's not like $5 or.
Why do they need real money though? They had a Kickstarter and they made like 10,000 times their production.
Have you seen the graphics?
Yeah. And I get that you can travel from galaxy to galaxy and
Not
land
even
on
that.
different planets.
You can go inside your spaceship, and like every little thing inside that spaceship is functional. Like little buttons, you can push them all. It's all crazy shit. But
and it's multiplayer. Someone can fly the spaceship and you can like run around, and if you want to eject yourself out of the spaceship, you can.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, you gotta. I mean, if it's coming to PC or a console, that's cool as shit. I didn't know that. I'll buy it there, but hopefully I don't have to spend hundreds of dollars on a ship. Because the last patch they were putting together, there was actually going to be like a Nostromo style ship, big mining vessel.
Now, this game's all like paywalls? Is it made by EA?
It is literally EA.
Or Ubisoft? Like, is that the other one that was doing? Dead Space 3 was fucking paywall out the ass, so I just didn't play it.
Yeah, well, they're changing all that stuff now. They're getting a lot of shit for that.
Rightfully so.
EA got pounded pretty hard after that Battlefront 2 thing that happened with the microtransactions.
Oh, that's what it's called, microtransactions. Fuck that.
Yeah. But that's another podcast.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is.
Or is it? I don't know. I'm getting tired, though.
Yeah.
No.
You gotta head out?
No.
Okay, let's say.
Chris I'm gonna wrap up this live podcast, but we'll continue offline with everything.
Jealous, everybody. More of this, but you're not invited until next week.
My name is Brian Enright. You can follow me on Facebook at Brian Enright. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at The Horror Jew. Also, if you're in the tri-state area, check out Red's Bar and Grill, where they're having a Friday the 13th costume party, and the winner gets to win a $100 bar tab. And if you go to this event and you mention the Horror Syndicate, from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., you will get offered a $30 VIP package, and you can drink your fucking face off until 1 a.m. Unlimited drinks, unlimited domestic beers, unlimited you call it shots and mixed cocktails, and unlimited imports for $30. Drink your face off and be the Jason Voorhees you always wanted to be. And you can maybe you'll meet your mom there too. Up next we have Jared Letourneau. Jared.
Yeah. Before we sign off, I wanted to let you guys know I'm going to be reviewing a this weekend. It's from Epic Pictures. They just scored big with their release of Terrifier. It's making news. It's making the rounds in the horror websites and Facebook groups. It's a crazy fucking movie.
I've seen a bunch of ads and stuff for that. It's just everywhere right now. Apparently, it's really good.
But the Epic Pictures just did another one called #Screamers. When an internet company decides to investigate a series of screamer videos, they are confronted with havoc and hell they will never expect. So apparently the Screamer is some type of serial killer or something. So I don't know if it's POV. I haven't watched it yet, but
I've seen the POV Screamers series before. I'm not talking about Peter Weller.
But you guys should see my review up on the website sometimes this weekend. But yep, that's all I got for the rest of the night. You guys can follow me at Jared Letourneau on Facebook and at zombie_survivor on the Twitverse. Thank you. Thanks for joining us, guys.
All right. Thank you very much, Jared. And Mike Lombardo, where can we find you?
You can find me at realsplatter.com. That's real with 2 E's, like a reel of film. You can also find me at facebook.com/realsplatter. Again, 2 E's, like cheese, like macaroni and cheese. And also you can find me May 26th through the 28th at the Crimson Screen Horror Film Festival, where White Doomsday just got accepted this morning.
Woohoo! I saw that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats, man. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right. And, of course, Lex, thanks for joining us tonight. I really do appreciate it. Hearing all the wonderful things about Resident Evil and other horror video games.
Yes. Do a video game review for us, please.
Oh, sure. If you want me to do that, I can totally do that. I love video games to death, so.
Do you, though?
I mean, not really, but.
You like a video game, bro?
And of course, our main event tonight, our guest of honor, the wonderfully talented artist, Chris Enterline. Thank you for joining us tonight. Now, shamelessly plug away everything that you are doing and where we can find you.
I just wandered in here off the street, so no, you can find me chrisenterline.com, Twitter at artsyenterline, and Instagram Enterline Draws. And you can also find me in the Drift in Pacific Rim. Yeah, that's all. I'm tired. I'm sorry.
And on Grindr.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially there. I mean, I'm really active there.
That's the mail order seasoning company, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we specialize in the large grinders and the small
the pepper grinder.
Yeah.
Site where you meet up your old high school bullies to squash some beef.
Yep.
Welcome to the grinder. All right. Have a good night, everybody, and everyone, please take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Stop streaming. Yeah, we are not doing VHS at midnight tonight. Fuck that.